Hey guys, it's KaiLen back with another stream. It might feel like ages since I've last streamed, but that's purely because the Wednesday stream isn't a thing for now. Because I've sped ahead in Danganronpa anyway, but the reason for that is because of all the block scenes, and playing on, I've realised that the rest of the game is indeed blocked. So had I tried to stream the rest of the game, I would have failed. It's kind of a good thing really that I stopped when I did, because otherwise it would have got incredibly tedious. I've actually really sped ahead with this game, and I am at the investigation of chapter 5. I completed chapter 4 yesterday, was it? Yeah, it was yesterday. Anyway, without further ado, let's go. So yeah, today's the free stream. Yeah, it was reading this week. By the way, something I was going to say in the Kaito Vocaloid of the Week, but I'll say here instead. On Ashes to Ashes, I was playing, and by the score you can probably figure out, well, you can't figure that out, but you can probably figure out that I got pretty close to a perfect. I think I was a bad or a safe and 2 wrongs off. Or was it 2 safes and 1 wrong, 1 miss? I can't remember. Anyway, I'm not going to start doing that because I know I'm going to get really, really, really annoyed. Because let's face it, I'm just that kind of person. One song I think I kind of come to like. I don't play it like that much, but I actually like it. Is Solitude's End. That's Len, I just realised. I've come to like the song, it's very catchy. And songs that are catchy normally go well with me, so, you know, it's fine. Oh. Well. Okay. was a wonderful start. Okay. I'm just going to quickly catch you guys up with Danganronpa and where I'm at. Oh, good song. I'll play that next. I'm just going to catch you guys up. So, at the end of Danganronpa spoilers, it's going to give you like, I don't know, 10 seconds. Clear for spoilers? Okay, good. So, the end of chapter 3, I think I went through that. Angie and Tenko were both killed, and Monokuma put the rule into place that if there were 2 murders during the same kind of like time frame, in the same time like for a class trial, so like, I don't know. So for example, I was in that academy. If I killed somebody, went into the investigation, or like even just like, and then in the same kind of time frame after the body being discovered, I killed somebody else, only the black, or somebody else killed somebody, I don't know, only the first blackened, which in this case would be me, would be executed. So that rule was put forward, but turns out that Korekio, that guy with the mask, who was the ultimate anthropologist. I get confused between Gonta and Korekio. I get confused between the entomologist and the anthropologist, but he's the anthropologist. It turns out he was guilty for both, and his execution was a bit strange, but I think we went through that, but just to recap, and before we had Ryuma and Kirumi, that was a horrible execution, no lie. So then, chapter 4 rolls around, and we're introduced to this virtual world. And I'm not going to go into all of that because that was actually got boring after a while. And then we got back to the real world after Mew's avatar stopped working properly, and Mew had been killed. We found out that Gonta was the culprit, but because of these cords, consciousness and memory, he switched them, which is partly Himiko's fault for saying, right is the chopsticks in which I hold my hand. Turns out Gonta eats his chopsticks, uses his chopsticks with his left hand. So he failed. Well done, Himiko. She's the magician. And then after that, found out that Mew was planning to kill Kokichi, the ultimate supreme leader, and the ultimate inventor was going to kill the ultimate supreme leader, you and Kokichi. And then turns out that Gonta got involved with Kokichi, and then Gonta killed Mew, which was mostly Mew and Kokichi's fault because they were just, being annoying. And then his execution was horrible, not gonna lie. I hate bugs. So to be killed the way he was just silent as he died. I would have been screaming and crying. And now I'm on chapter 5. We found a dead body. I myself know who the dead body is, but they were basically killed with a hydraulic press. Wonderful. And I know who the body is, but the characters don't, so technically I don't know, but in terms of being a person, I already know. So I've just started the investigation, and then I started streaming, so that took 3 minutes. Oh well, minute for every chapter, kind of. I feel like I always play the same songs. By the way, after we had the whole thing with the whole 6 Snow Mikus, I did change it back. Snow Miku's nice and all, but honestly, too much Miku. You guys already know I have a slight distaste for Miku, and it's partly due to how popular and overrated she is, and how like all the vocalists don't get enough love. But it's not that I don't like her, it's just that I prefer everyone else over her, but there is a slight dislike. Anyway, let's go. I don't even really I love this song for the dancing that Rin and Len and the others do. The dancing's fun. Okay, that's fun. The dancing's actually quite amusing. Okay, I'll shut up. I might only go for 20 minutes. Oh my god, I'm having a bad day, aren't I? This is really annoying. Okay, it wasn't great, but at least I finally cleared the song on hard. Now, when I didn't like play it and watch the PV, I actually just sat and watched the PV. I got bored after a few minutes, but honestly, just to see one of them bouncing around and dancing, it was actually quite fun. Those two. I was thinking of saying something. Oh yeah. You guys probably know this, but for all my fellow Diva players out there that don't know this, something I've started to do is holding with macros. So for example, another thing I do is like I switch. I tend to hold with the square, triangle, circle, X rather than the up, down, left, right. I tend to use those to hit notes now. What you can do is, so for example, you're holding a circle but with the right directional, then what you could do is you can switch that. And then say for example, you then hit triangle. I'm going to use one of my macros as an example. Then you could hit triangle and then switch it over, or you could use your macro if you've got one for triangle and circle, which I do. It's my L2 macro, and you can use that to hold it. And it's something I've found out, and it's quite useful. I cleared this. Don't know the who, what, when, where, why, but I remember. Oh wait, no, did I clear it on Saturday? I don't know. I cleared it at some point, but I haven't played since Saturday. You see, this is a problem. I hate getting attached to games. Also, I broke a rule that I saw on a post. It's like, oh yeah, with Danganronpa, don't get attached to the characters. And I'm just sat here like, anybody seen History of Japan? Just like, how about I do anyway? Because honestly, I'm really bad for getting attached to the cast of games. And then when they die, I'm all like, oh no, the feels, when technically it's my own fault. I get attached to characters far too easily, and it's a huge problem. Like, it is a huge problem, the way that I get attached to characters. Like, you go to any fandom I'm in, apart from maybe a few, like Vocaloid for example. Except a few fandoms, you go to a fandom I'm in, e.g. Danganronpa, Fire Emblem, can't think of fandoms. I don't know. Things like that though, that really have a story. Okay, Fate's story wasn't great, but you get that, and you know, the feels get me. Don't know if they get anybody else, but they get me real bad sometimes. Also guys, I was thinking, before we start, I was thinking, for Wednesday, Friday and Sunday, I had a few ideas. I have a game called Fate Extella, if anybody's heard of the Fate series. I've never actually watched the anime. If there's a manga, I've never read it, and Extella is the only game I've played. I've cleared Nero Claudius, Saber's route. Then I started playing Caster's route. She began to weird me out, and I haven't touched the story mode since. I did a couple of free battles a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, or maybe a month ago. And that was fun. So I could stream maybe doing some free battles. I'm bad at the game, but you know, well, I'm bad at most games, so can't really say that, can I? But I'm not great at it, but I'm better. So at Danganronpa, I'm better than I was at the start. The start was doing absolutely dreadfully, and I'm really catching up now. I could do The Sims 4 if I can get that to work, and if the scenes don't block. Same with the Extella, but it might. That I get the feeling that games like that block. Or something I thought about is I could just maybe play Diva in the background, and we could do something I thought of. I mean, I wrote it down as Meet the Streamer, but you know, a lot of you guys already know me. But come on, it'd be like a bit of a Q&A session, or even just a stream. You know, just talking to you people. Maybe playing Diva in the background, or doing some other stuff in the background. You know, just to kind of chill. Because sometimes it can be a bit hectic, and then we could just have a chat. You know, I don't mind talking to my streamers. I don't mind talking to my audience. It's fun. It's fun to get to know you guys. Just as it might be fun for you guys to get to know me. So, if you guys would be interested in any of those, just comment, or if you know me, just let me know. I don't know. I can't think of anything for now, but without further ado, I've been talking for far too long. Let's do this. You guys know how I feel about things like that. safe or worse on the first note really annoys me, but especially a safe. Like, you would not believe how annoying that is. By the way, I'm not religious, I just really like the song. That really annoyed me. I think half of me did that on purpose. Most of me didn't, because that was actually an accident. But it gives me an excuse to restart. You guys know I'm going to give up in a minute. You know what? No, screw this. I get really annoyed very easily over things like that. Like, you wouldn't believe how irate I get. Like, if you could see me when I used to play before I kind of shifted to Danganronpa and had a massive, and now I kind of have a massive obsession with getting that finished. Seriously, I need to see the ending of this game. Anyway, before, like, if I even got one note out of place in the first section where I know I could get it perfectly and it was like the start of the song, like for example the first, I think it's like 100 and something notes of Out of Eden I can hit perfectly, and I know that. So every time I miss one out, it really, really annoys me. So that's always fun. It's like a really bad reflex. Like, if I'd missed a note there, I would have gone back to the start. That's confusing. It has no excuse, but it has been a while. That's absolutely dreadful though, this budget, no excuse. Oh god, that's not funny. What was that song we were playing with Rin? It was on that thing. It was really catchy. There's some songs here that we accidentally missed. Was it this one? I think it was. It's catchy. I'm trying to remember the stage. That helped me to know. Yeah, it's this one, I think. Oh, my other player. I think it was a song. What was the song? I think. I'm really sorry, guys. I thought I could actually make it to the end of the song, but there's actually a pop-up obstructing my TV, so give me a second. Pop-up comes up on my TV sometimes, threatening to shut down, so the only way to stop it is to turn the TV off and back on again, so that's always fun. When is a good vocalist right now? What song was that now? It wasn't melancholic. It was this one. It's too sketchy. It was really catchy. Because I remember the stage now. Yeah, it's this one. It's really catchy. Kokoro's nice. Koroko? Don't ask me about pronunciation of all people. You guys know how much I butchered the song that KaiLen died to. KaiLen. Again, really, don't ask me about pronunciation. Unless it's English, or unless it's somewhat French, like I can say some French words properly. They're the ones I still need help with. So, yeah, anyway. Sorry guys. Okay, let's go. This is really catchy. Yeah, it's this. This is catchy. Oh, wow, okay. And I've also been thinking about maybe making the stream shorter on that note. Because watching streams myself, I realise that sometimes watching for an hour can, I mean, I just have a short attention span, but I know for some people it might be hard to keep on it for a whole hour, so I might start doing on Thursday I could start doing like an episode thing, but I don't know. I'll think about it, but for now I'm going to make this a bit shorter. So with that, guys, this is Classy Girl 18 signing out. Thanks, guys. See ya.